centuries, mankind has been fascinated with realms outside of our conscious awareness. Through a series of interviews with practitioners, guest speakers, and experts, Liberate the Podcast covers all that and more. From health and holistic healing to the supernatural, we aim to educate, motivate, inspire, and liberate your consciousness. Hi, welcome to another episode of Liberate the Podcast. Today we have Kimberly Meredith with us, and she is a medical intuitive and trance medium. She's going to explain a little bit about what those both are, but they're really cool, super powerful, amazing. She's been featured in so many different magazines, articles, on TV shows for the miraculous healing that she has done, and even research studies that have found her to be extremely effective. Okay, so this is where science meets with the hooey-wooey, and it all is coming together. So Kimberly, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here at Liberate Hollywood. Okay, so
I want to hear a little bit about yourself. So, I know in 2013 you had a near-death experience, and that kind of prompted you into understanding the 12 dimensions and tapping into different realms beyond our 3D existence, right?
It did. It threw me into a deep evolution of what this is completely about, that we live in a multidimensional world, that there are many dimensions, we're multidimensional human beings, and that we can have miraculous healings. And we don't need to live in a 3D consciousness, that we can eventually, we will have peace on earth. And people every day that I see, I have a private practice in Los Angeles, are being healed, and it's amazing to witness this every day. It's unbelievable.
So when you say healing, for those that are tapping in, what type of healing do you work with?
Yeah, so after my near-death experience in 2013, I had a near-death experience. I went to the other side and witnessed an awakening that happened to me through Christ's light. I was born with blinking eyes, that I had pushed aside my gifts as a young child. They had reawakened to me after the accident. And then I became a full-blown trance medium, which is I'm a channeler, and I channel many ascending masters and guides that come through me, and they give me messages on a daily basis. And clients come to me through all over the world, and they come to my office, and I do which is called medical intuitive scans. Okay. And I scan people's bodies, and I give information through many, my team, I call them my spirit team. And I scan people's bodies, and I'm very nosy, and I go through everybody's body, and I tell them every single thing that's wrong within me, emotionally or physically, and it could be an injury from a long time ago, it could be cancer, disease, or whatever it is. I connect all the dots together. I can do this in 2.5, 3 minutes, and I've been tested. I'm faster than an MRI, CAT scan machine.
Wow. That's amazing. And so you pick up on people's even emotional blocks too.
Absolutely.
And so this is the physical, the emotional, the mental, like all the constraints and the problems that we have that are limiting us for whatever we're trying to accomplish in life, right?
Right.
And so you've been getting more acclaim and known for the physical ailments and the diseases that you've been healing, right? Like cancer, tumors, those type of things, but everything you work on.
Exactly, because emotional is physical, and we live in a third-dimensional world. So, of course, the darker energies that come through food and energetic fields and our auras being attacked gets into our system. Then of course it's going to manifest into our body and through different injuries into our system. Of course, there's a lot of things that were being attacked at this time. Mm-hmm. So then I pick up on that. And then what happens is that I'm being directed through the spirit to then, the next gift that has been given to me is then to go into the body and do a healing on you. So I have, my hands get very numb, and I'm directed to do a surgery. I'm called a psychic surgeon, so then I go in to do a surgery on the body, on a person. And what happens then, which is really cool, is that the person that is in the session with me, or at a live event I do this, feels like they're in a high fifth dimensional cosmic state of like you're having surgery, you're in an anesthesia, and then you go into this really cool energetic field, and then I do surgery on you, and the tumor is dissolved, or the node, or whatever. If you have a thyroid or a tumor or a node around the throat, I've taken up to 7 nodes off of people's throats. Tumors have dissolved. I put things back together that are out of place. And this is the energy of Christ's light, Christ consciousness, I call it, which is feminine and masculine. And the energy of God is that miraculous energy that comes through the body.
Amazing.
And it's me and you and the energy coming through the body, which is here right now.
And how quickly do one of these healings type of take place?
The healing can take place within 3 or 4 seconds. 5 seconds can happen to you when you were tapped into this energy. So, which is really exciting and a joyous, amazing time right now. And I'm getting chills right now, which is confirmation of the Christ light. Some people call it Holy Spirit, God, love, light, which is so amazing, which is a very joyful, amazing moment. Sometimes we're talking about the tragedies and the horrible things that are happening in 3D, I call it. But the amazing thing is that they're saying from the other side, this is a very exciting time right now. We're moving into the 5th dimension. We are accessing the 5th dimension, which is the higher consciousness light, and people are going to learn more and more how to do it.
That's and so when people come to like one of your live events,
Yes.
What type of things go on there? Because I'm like she's here in Los Angeles, so we're hosting her for a live event on September 29th from 4 to 8 p.m. Here at Liberate Hollywood, but she does other live events throughout the city and different places around the United States and things like that as well. The healingtrilogy.com is her website. So we'll regroup and say that again a little bit later on, but I just want to, if some people are already getting the bug, like I'm getting the bug of like, this is exciting, I want to know how I can sign up faster and sooner, because if you're feeling what I'm feeling through this, So.
Yes, it is extremely exciting. I have been doing these beautiful events, making my way through New York, Mexico, up north, Australia. I've been going around and doing these events, LA Conscious Expo, New York Expo, San Francisco Expo, and my guides go out in the audience. They will find people that have various diseases, and the mediumship, they will find them and will bring them onto the table. And many people in the audience are invited to come up to the stage, and as I'm getting chills right now, they will also be empowered to lay hands on the people on the table that are receiving the healing. And what happens is, in the room when we're at a live event, is everyone in the room is exactly filling the grid of the 5th dimension, which is they are receiving a healing also. So as the person is, as you're seeing my eyes right now blink at you, that is confirmation of the Spirit, the Christ light, saying that we all can be healed when we're in a gathering of this auric field of energy.
And I've been taught through my teachings, like in meditation, that if you have more than 7 people, it starts to open up more divine flow of energy. But allowing that in a bigger group and an audience base, if everybody's tapping in and everybody's supporting and everybody's holding that intention for these individuals to miraculously be healed too, it's even that much more powerful.
Yes, you're correct. And they are using me because when I had the near-death experience, and I honor God, I bow down to God. I'm not God, but I'm a reflection of God. We're a reflection of God. God is so amazingly powerful. They want us to witness more 5th dimensional miracles. They want us to actually see it. We're in a time in this right now where everything's moving so fast and everybody has so many things to do.
Yeah.
They want us to slow down a little bit. They want us to actually, we can hear it all day long. Oh, there's miracles happening, there's things going on, and people can preach to us. But they want us to actually, like you're watching a video game, right? They want us to see it. They want us to see those tumors leaving. They want us to see, they want us to watch, they want us to see the miracle.
Yeah.
And I'm actually one of those miracles. I couldn't walk. I was, injured severely in this accident, and God gave me the strength to walk. God gave me my life back, and God gave me my eyes back to blink. They were just taken away from me when I was little, and then after the accident, I became a trance medium. Never took a class. God just gave me the gifts back. And I think many people have beautiful gifts, and we can be awakened to this beautiful dimension. And I feel there's so much more to learn and teach. And part of when I come here on September 29th, the end of our class will be questions and answers from the masters, and they like to
channel some of that information.
Yeah, give people
advice,
information,
understandings. And
Yeah.
it is, touching on that point that you made about people need to see things, or the higher beings or other dimensions want us to see things.
Yeah.
We have so much clutter going on, and that we have to, in order, we're desensitized by a lot of things, not unless we are in that observation role. Because we're inundated in the information age with, oh yeah, we hear it, it's in one ear, out the other, but when we actually have this experience of something that resonates with us and we realize the possibility and the ability that is out there to shift, to change, to transform, to heal, all of that.
You're correct. And the guides, the spirits that I work with, they're super, super intelligent. They're super fast. They love to help people move their minds, to mind map them, to understand that we're not using our full capacity of our brains, that we can reach a super high vibration, a super high consciousness, to understand that God is a high vibrational consciousness, and that we can fight off any negative energetic force, that we can protect our bodies, we can put vibrational triangles around us, that we can not only be fully healed, but we can keep our vibration so high that nothing can get into our bodies to deflect. We can reflect and keep generating a high energetic force with a God-like consciousness.
What do you think is one of the biggest reasons that people are operating from the opposite, or the stuff, or the creation of the diseases or the ailments? And because you're seeing, or we're seeing as a society, nationally, internationally, like this influx of depression, anxiety, diseases, cancers. I mean, I was reading that the statistics for the United States said that 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women of United States residents will have cancer in our lifetime. So 1 in 3 women, 1 in 2 men. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, so what is going on that's causing all of this?
Absolutely. My private practice is 99% cancer, and it's absolutely a third dimensional energetic field of fear. It's actually fear, greed, dark energy that's been here from the beginning of time, and it's just getting thicker and more dense. And it's cancers everywhere. It's in our ears, in our eyes, in our body. It's coming from the ocean. It's coming from our food. It's coming from the grocery stores. It's coming from the lights. It's coming from so many things, but mostly fear, 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 fear. It's coming from basically what I just spoke about, which was not being 100% in all the way with understanding that we need to live and move into the 5th dimension. Mm-hmm. And we're here, meaning me and my guides, to teach you more tools to understand that cancer is not really that bad of a word.
Yeah.
No disease, no immune suppressed energy is really that bad of a word anymore, that we can grab a hold of it, we can conquer it, and we can move into this higher vibrational world. We can choose. We want 3D food, we want 3D lifestyle. Do we want to move into a more organic world or be a more naturalist? Do we want to have a fifth dimensional world? Do we want to have a fifth dimensional consciousness? Do we want to be peaceful and loving and calm and move into this energy? Does it happen overnight? They say no. Is it going to happen in a few years? They say yes. Everything's yes, everything's no. Forgot to mention that. This is yes and this is no. And when it's yes and no, it is yes and no. Everything that I read is in Braille with yes and no. And so my guides are pretty spot on with my yes and no's. So this is a very positive moving. They're saying moving forward. They're blinking number 5. We are moving forward. And this is, I hate to say, somebody say, well, you're very positive about our future, Kimberly. And I'm saying, yes, I am. We are positive about the future.
Yeah, there's so many people waking up.
Because we're educating and we're teaching, and
and waking up, understanding, searching. People aren't taking the information that was just fed to them anymore.
Yeah.
And I think when you hit so much, and are faced with so much destruction and problems and things, you have to ask, how can this be different? And I think we're finally asking that, and fear, resistance, right?
Right. I love that. I mean, I didn't wake up just one day, for no reason blinking.
Yeah.
That just didn't happen. I didn't wake up one day, bumped in the head, had a car accident, and say, oh yeah, I just could scan your body, look at my doctor and go, I knew your hernia was taken out. I knew you had cancer in your brain. I knew, the mere fact that that you can have these, gifts or learn these things, or I lay my hands on somebody and their tumor is completely dissolved. This is the fact that more and more things are going to advance and more people are going to learn how to detect things faster. There's indigo, starseed, crystal kids being born more and more. More people are going to learn things faster. I'm having classes where people's hands are being activated. They're getting hot. They're learning how to lay hands on people. They're saying, Kimberly, I feel my hands are hot. I mean, this is an exciting time.
Yeah. And I've had my other healing center for 8.5 years, and I see the shift though in the last, I'd say 3 to 4 years or so, where so many more people are getting interested in that. The new age and alternative health and energy healings are not considered as weird or off anymore, different, right?
Right.
They're becoming more accepted and people are understanding. And I mean, maybe that has a lot of help with quantum physics and understanding that. I mean, I'm still my mind can't fathom the fact that all out of 7.2 billion people on the planet, if you actually take the physical mass of them, the physical material, it's sugar cube. So we're all this air and energy. We're not solid.
Right.
And when we can learn that if the whole entire population of humanity can fit in a sugar cube, of course we can shift diseases and ailments and change things.
Yeah. And you're absolutely correct. When I did the thermography, when I met the woman that had the torn knee from a skiing accident at SciTech Energy Lab, and I worked with Dr. Norm Shuley too, we did a lot of studies. Normally, they put them in the thermography, and then a healer would try to do the mediumship and see what they had. But I wanted to be really tested because I love a challenge. So I scanned the woman first, and I knew her knee was torn, and I didn't want them to tell me anything. Then they put her in the thermography test, and they scanned her. Then they gave her back to me, and I did the healing on her. Then they put her back in, and they said, you were correct. It was exactly the torn knee, you were right, before it. Then they put her back in, and it was completely healed. She was supposed to have surgery, and they canceled the surgery.
Amazing.
So that is something that has never been heard of that could ever happen. So the capacity of our brains is not even being done. We are not fulfilling our full capacity of our brains. AI, artificial intelligence, is taken over so much because we don't use our brains.
Exactly.
And that cannot happen either. So we want to use our brains more. We want to learn to meditate more. We want to make sure we're using more than 50% of our consciousness. So our guides, my guides that are here to help us know that we can do that. Here's another thing that happens in a daily practice for me in my office. I sit in my office. My first thing on my application when people come in is, do you believe in God? Okay. The second thing is, what kind of water do you drink? So when people come in, they go, why are you asking me those things? And I'm like, well, I'm just interested. And when they walk in, most people, and I'm not trying to be like silly, but I am silly, but most people walk in with plastic bottles. And I'm like, okay, And the funny thing too is like, because we're in the spiritual world, we know all these spiritual people, but a lot of people don't know a lot of spiritual people. A lot of people know singers, they'll know like, Lady Gaga or something like that, it's just funny, but they don't know about like, don't drink out of plastic bottles, like BPA. I mean, it's sitting in heat and it's causing cancer, it's toxic.
Yeah.
So there's so much information to get out there and people want to know. So it's just really a good time right now. And I think the good news is that we can get a handle on what they're trying to say. Mm-hmm. They're blinking. That it's an amazing time, it's a good time, and we know that we can heal our bodies, that they're just by changing your water up a little bit, drinking out of glass, drinking out of a copper bottle is good for you a few times a week, not every day, but there's just a lot of good things out there to do for us.
Yeah, the little changes that make the big differences.
Absolutely.
What is one of your most, the cases that you've worked at that made your tongue twister here, that made your jaw drop, that you were even in amazement of the miraculous healing and the things that happened?
One of my cases? I would say there's several cases that I've worked on that have made my jaw drop. Some of them is the faith and the tenacity of some of my cancer clients. My cancer clients pull my heart tremendously, because the ones that I've found at expos especially, because they use me in New York City, New York especially, because New York people, I love New York, and I love LA too, and San Francisco, because they use my body, the guides do. I give everything to them. I give it all to the Holy Spirit, and I let them take me over. And when I'm drawn out to the crowd, they'll find who needs me. And then those people that are brought onto the table give themselves over tremendously, because they will find if they've got bone cancer or breast cancer or whatever's happening to them. And when they're in the room, they're praying, because most of them are 4-stage.
Yeah.
And when they're 4-stage, usually sometimes they've gone through chemo and it's pretty much over with. They're ready to go to the other side. And when that happens, and when they've got that sentence, I get the chills, it's very emotional. Yeah. And the chemo's pretty much run its course and it's pretty much gone. And then what happens is then I know my eye will say where it's at, and then this eye is saying it's leaving their body right there on the stage. I know it's left them. I can see the blackness of cancer, and I can see it leave in a ball right out. And when it's happening to me, the whole room is oming. It's unbelievable. The crowd ohms. And the person on the table is opening their arms up, and they're praying. And as they're praying, I can see it leave. And then, when it's done, I don't hear from them, for a while, And then they'll make another appointment to see me, maybe a follow-up in the office. And when they walk through the door, they don't have to say anything to me, because God, my eyes, will know they're healed before they hand me the paper. Because my eyes will go, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. I have 24 different blinking codes. This means good, this means not, this means God. And then I have hot flashes for different things. I go, blah, 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 means cancer or pain. I have other blinking codes, which means this is a different thing. But when they walk through the door, and I know they have been healed, before they hand me anything, I'll just go, dun, 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 meaning they're healed. And they'll just walk in and they'll have their paper. And I'll just get that confirmation. I know they've been healed. But not by me. I've not done it. The other side, God, Holy Spirit, has healed them. And then they'll say, Kimberly, look at this, and I'll say, okay. And then it'll say, benign, the tumor benign. And the one before was pure 4-stage cancer. And then when they lay on the table and I scan them, and I'll go down the spine, it's blinking, God, 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 meaning Christ has healed them. The Christ light has healed them in the areas that. When I go in the audience and I find people through my mediumship, and I go up to someone and I get the God blinking eyes, that means that they've had an NDE, they've had a near-death experience, that they already have had something happen. And I'll say, did you have something happen where maybe you had fallen or hurt yourself? They'll say, yes, I did. I'll go up to someone where I have the chattering teeth, I know they have something, I cross their arms over. So what I'm saying is that those moments are, there's no money in the world, there's no price that I know that I've witnessed the healing, the miraculous healing that they're telling me from the other side is what is circling around from when we came in from the beginning of time, that this is possible, this is confirmed. And the people that have been healed in the last 3 years through this process that is happening, that I am witnessing right now, why I stayed here, that I did not stay on the other side when I transcended, why God had me come back. Because I remember when I went to the other side and I came back, is why I'm here to witness this. Because how you stay then after you are healed, and when they are healed, they look at me in the eyes and they say, I'm healed, I know this now, it's confirmed. What do I do now with my life? I say, you're to serve. Yeah. And they say, that's how I stay healed, Kimberly. I serve now. I say, yes, that's what I do. I go out and I serve. That's how I stay healed.
Beautiful.
So then they go out and they serve. They become either a volunteer of mine, or they go out and they do some service work. They do something to stay healed. The days that I don't serve, the days I don't go out and channel, the days I don't do event, the day I don't go to work and lay hands on people, because I had a different life before, the days I don't do the work, I don't feel as good.
Is it as you tap in and it clears?
I stay in the 5th dimension. I feel amazing when I am serving and channeling and preaching and doing my mediumship and I'm laying on hands on people. And the days that I am not, I don't feel as risen because Christ's light is here. The Christ light is here. So there's enough successful people. We need more people that are serving the Christ light.
And creating that
The
ripple
abundance of light. Yes.
Ripple effect to change the world.
Absolutely. So the more you're reaching your hand out, the more you're smiling, the more you're helping each other, the more the Christ light envelops inside your body and pushes the health of your body and heals you and heals others.
That's beautiful. Made me get emotional when you were describing the story earlier. With that, on that note, do you, before you had this near-death experience, you said as a little girl, you had the blinking gift already. Were you inquisitive or curious about like metaphysical stuff, spirituality prior, or did that all come after?
I remember just having a very yearning for a strong relationship with an energy of Mother Mary. I remember looking at her, the saint Mary, and being very close to the energy of praying to God and having a very strong relationship with one of my grandmothers. But I had a very tumultuous relationship with my mother.
Okay.
And she did not like the blinking. And so she was determined to stop the blinking. And why I bring this up is that There's a lot of children and even adults that have struggles and maybe look different or act a different way or have things that they are dealing with and maybe push down, maybe something they think that is, perhaps they think is something that is wrong with them, and perhaps it is not something that is wrong with you, it is a gift. And so I have clients that come to me and say, I thought that was something that was not right with me, but now I know this is a gift that I have. So I had blinking, I had stuttering, I was dyslexic, and I knew my hands were different at a very young age. I told my mom my hands were reincarnated, and she slapped me. I knew that I was different at a very young age. Boys didn't want to hold my hands. They said they were wrong. I knew that I was just completely awkward. And I did have a very strong bond with, like I said, my grandmother, who did encourage me to touch animals, and I knew I could heal animals when I was little. And I had a sick dog that I brought back to life. He was suffering and sick and couldn't breathe, and he came back. And I was doing very unusual things when I was young and saw, strange lights moving and doors moving and different things like that. But finally, at the age of 7 years old, I would force my eyes, like you see them constantly blinking right now. That's how I trance.
Yeah.
I was trancing as a child, which no one knew that was trancing. I was in trance. I finally stopped it, which I remember feeling a very, very strong depression, like a sadness when I stopped. But then I went on.
Yeah.
And then what is meant to be will be. Like, it is meant, you cannot stop the Christ light from coming into the world, so the dark energy cannot stop what's meant to happen.
Yeah, and that's what we're coming now.
And the masters, like Yogananda and Yogi Bijan, and all the beautiful masters from the other side, and many ascending masters and Jesus and everybody, they're all coming and rooting for us.
What do you think for those that are okay, wait, actually this is a good question, because sometimes people get sick or have ailments or situations happen to them or emotional problems so that they can learn or evolve. What do you find that sometimes that there's a resistance to healing because there's a lesson or evolution that still needs to happen with a person? You know what I mean?
That's a great question. Yes. We all have our own steps that we need to take. And so you're saying when somebody is dealing with a trauma, like a 3D trauma that happened to them in another state of a dimension that they were in when they were a child or something, and then they're in this state of consciousness and they get sick at this moment, and then they need to move forward and move out of that energetic field. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or if like somebody like they put themselves over and over in like this victim state of mentality, right, but they need to learn their worth, or that they're in control, and that like
to move forward. Yeah. So yes, I have lots of clients that come like that, and my clients think that they need to go to several classes or therapists and keep going over the same story and to get through that, or some karmic debt or things like that. And I understand that, and my guides are really silly about that. My guides are about, let's just move forward.
Okay.
My guides are about, enough of that, and we can just knock this out, and we want to move into the fifth dimension. And whatever happened to you when you were 5, like we talked about my mom for a second ago, they're kind of going, enough is enough with that story.
Yeah.
And that happened, and we're moving into the fifth dimension. There's enough time on that. And that was in that time, which was a 3D dimensional time. Break the cord.
Yeah.
That's over. We're here now.
Yeah.
And this is this. So everything is in a different time, frequency, and dimension. Not to be not to be compassionate about what had happened to you, because it did happen. But in order for us to grow, we need to forgive. Everything is in forgiveness of that. And to understand that my mom I love her still. She's gone. She died young. She overdosed. So my mom had issues, though. My mom wasn't my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, like many people that are harmed, they're taken over by a darker frequency. And when you have mental illness, or you're on drugs, or there are things happening, your body's opened up to other portals of energy. So she did awful things to me, but I was at the light. I was born at the light. So she loved me, but she was going to get taken over.
Yeah.
So when that would happen, it wasn't her. She'd look at me right in my eyes, and it wasn't her, So, but through that, I'm who I am now. I'm strong, and I help hundreds of people with these situations, and they are stronger for me helping them for what I went through.
It's that higher perspective, that bird's eye view, realizing that it's all.
Absolutely. You don't go through, you get great gifts from coming from great pains.
Exactly.
And so basically, my mother, she was beautiful, but she had lots of things happening to her and attacking her. So basically, the answer to this is that we have to forgive and move forward and understand that people, if they're not 100%, you can't have a crack of doubt that God is beautiful, miraculous, and loves you. And when you have that other consciousness, because that other consciousness is here, that darker consciousness trying to tell you that God is not here for you, that God doesn't want good things for you. God is a loving, feminine, masculine energy that adores you and wants you cuddled and taken care of and abundantly loved. So basically, when that doubt starts coming in, you have to tell it to shut up and leave you alone.
Yeah.
And stay so grounded and protected and strong, because it will play around with you.
That's why part of having those experiences and realizing that when you have a different experience, or you witness or you feel something completely shaking your normal, your model of
your mind.
Yeah, then suddenly you can tap into a different frequency and energy, because you realize that there's so much more.
Yes, she gave me the biggest gift of my life. She gave me strength. When I take the pain out of people or the tumors, I often see her eyes. Her eyes that would not be kind to me. Her eyes that were harsh on me. But her eyes are the eyes of the darkness of cancer.
Yeah.
And when I see her eyes, it's like I'm a fighter. I'm a pit bull. And I turn into a pit bull. And I will take it right out of you. I will take that cancer right out of you.
I love that.
I'm very calm, and I'm very gentle, and I'm a very kind person.
But
then when it's there, it's a beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast. And the clients of mine, I will know right when they come in the door if they're going to make it or they're not. Because when they come in, they have to be committed to the protocols and the treatment plans, and committed 100% to the energy of the Holy One. And saying, I am ready, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like we need to be committed to world peace, to going into this higher dimension, to loving each other.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And so you do live events in different places, also in Venice, you've said Australia, New York, San Francisco, here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Alaska. Yeah. And I've been traveling around a little bit and going different places at all the main expos, and doing an event at Rama on August 4th. And I'll be doing here September 29th. I'm excited about that a lot.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, we're doing it with a really beautiful band, Animal Cloud.
She does these, I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm hearing and learning that with live music and the healing frequencies of music, of course, tapping in with that, and the energy and the collective consciousness and the miraculous healings. And I mean, it's something that if you're going to be here and you have anything that you're wanting to work through, you should definitely make a point. And if you have any loved ones that are especially at their ends of rope and looking for something that is their saving grace, as cliche as that sounds,
Yes, definitely. If they're not, they like to learn some information about, we're doing teachings on consciousness. I'll be doing scans and healings, questions and answers from the masters. We're going to have beautiful music. We'd really love for you to come. It would be beautiful.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Come to my website, thehealingtrilogy.com. I'll be going.
And they'll list all of her events and places that she'll be here and around the world,
Yeah.
as well as contact information of how to book privates and one-on-ones with her.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to add, Kimberly?
Guy, I think you're so beautiful, and I love that you offering this to me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's an honor to be on this podcast.
We're honored to have her, and hopefully she'll be here a little bit more frequently too.
Yeah, that would be great. Love that.
Well, thank you for joining, and
Thank you.
leave some comments and feedback. It helps us rank a little higher. And until next time.